Doc Henson with you today. Today I got this my AR, this one I built. I'm not going to really go over like everything about it. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I will get one done. Today what we're going to be doing is testing out this Bushnell TRS-25 red dot. I see, there's a pretty good bit of reviews already on it, and it shows the reticle and they give you the specs and all that stuff, but today I'm going to do something that I haven't really seen a lot of done with this red dot, and that's going to be to test the durability and the reliability after it's been dropped or abused just a little bit. If you want to see it, withstand water or just withstand the recoil of a rifle, there's plenty of reviews out there to see that. But today what I'm going to do is I've got it sighted in. That's right there. I have some shooting C targets right there I sighted in on, and it's holding the zero with normal rounds being fired. That's no problem. I think everybody knows that. This is a red dot comparable to like the Primary Arms or the Halosun or the Vortex. It's in that cheaper price range. It's not an aim point. It's not an EOTech. So get that out of your head. It's not going to withstand the abuse that those can go through. You can take those and throw them off a mountain and they're still going to work. This is just a pretty good red dot just for your normal, plinking, range time, and maybe even on a rifle that you might need, like as home defense or something, but you don't have the money to spend for an aim point. So I know me, when I'm handling my rifles or any kind of gun, pretty much, I might lay a gun down hard on a table, or like in 3-gun, having to toss it in a barrel or lay it down on a table, fairly hard sometimes. Not like throwing it, but it kind of gets hit a little bit. And I want my sight to stay on even if I do that. So that's what we're testing today. And I'm going to shoot it. I'll just shoot it the gong to start with, just to show you that it is on. And then what I'm going to do is do a couple of drop tests with it, and then we'll test the accuracy here on this shooting C and see if it's maintaining zero after a pretty good bit of abuse. So here we go. This one is set up. I have it co-witness with my MacBull backup sights, and it's a direct co-witness. So I just fold these down, and if the dot ever goes out, you can just pop these backup sights up, and you can see right through the scope. So that's pretty good. If your dot ever goes down, have a backup plan. But it's a cheap mount I have it set on. It's a UTG, yeah, $10. It's the 0.83 riser. So we're gonna see how it does. And we'll shoot that orange plate out there. And that plate's at 100 yards, and that doesn't give us too much difficulty hitting that. So we're going to go ahead and start the test. Eject that round out. And it's sighted in, it's on right now. So once I get done with some of this testing, then we'll reshoot and see if it's holding zero. And if it does, hey, good job. I got this sight for like 65 bucks. Can't beat that for a good red dot if it holds zero after a little bit of abuse. So what we're going to do first is just say 3-gun, or you're just a little bit abusive with your guns when you're throwing them down or laying them on a table or something. And that's what we're going to do first. So we'll just drop it for about a foot. Make sure you can see it. Drop it from about a foot here, and see how it goes. Okay, that's on that side. Good on that side. Okay, and then this is the one that might jar it a little bit. We're going to drop it directly on the red dot. So the dot is still working. That don't surprise me very much that the dot's still working. And now what we're going to do here is I'm going to step right here to the side and do a couple of groups on that paper and just see if that little bit of jarring did anything to it. And we're just going to fire 3-shot groups for that. And just wanted to check it for you. It looks like the impact actually has shifted about 2 inches down, and that's only at about 15 yards, maybe 20 from here to that target. So that's not very promising right now. We're going to go further though, and keep on testing it. It did shift it a little bit right there. So what we'll do now is really do the pretty good drop test. I'm going to drop it from about waist high or somewhere around this part. And this will simulate if you had to use this rifle as a serious rifle. And I don't know. There's certain times where you might drop your gun. You don't want to drop your gun, but if you do, you want it to work even after that. So I'm just going to drop it the same as I did a minute ago. Drop it from about waist high here. Okay. And the gun is empty. Drop it from about waist high on this side here. This might also be a good test for my rifle I built to see if it holds up to the drops, which it will. Drop it on the bottom here. All right, now this is the one here that can, I think it's gonna cause the zero to go way off when I do this, but we're gonna do it anyway. All right, that fell directly on the scope from about 3 feet high, and nothing looks bad. The red dot is still on, so we're gonna find out here. And I'll even shoot at the gong a couple of rounds. Actually, we're not. We have a truck on the side of the field back there, and I don't want to put any rounds beside that truck. So we'll wait for them to come on down here, and then we'll place some rounds down there. There's a road. It goes on the side of this range here, and it circles that way. And there's really no chance of me hitting them from where they're at. I just don't want to fire that way. Might get scared if they see that. That truck is probably about, I don't even know if you can see it in the frame, it's about 150 yards to the right over there. So, really no worry with safety, but still. While we're waiting though, might as well just test it a little bit more. So we'll just take the rifle, and just do a few more drops with it. I hope you're able to see it hitting. We're just going to take it again. No problem. And we'll even do one more directly on the sight, just to give it a an extra test. That landed directly on the top of the sight there again. red dot is still working, so that's a plus. Now what we'll do is go ahead and the truck's out of the way clearly by now. He's actually horizontal with me now, and we'll go ahead and give it a try out there. So it is still accurate minute of man. If this was a defensive rifle, you'd probably be okay out to about 100 yards or so. That's a pretty big plate out there, about 16 inches, so we're still hitting it. But let's go ahead and do the test on the paper, and we'll see just where we're at as far as grouping. Here we go. Okay, that was 3 shots. I'm not just going to sit out here and bust this sight on the ground because I don't plan on dropping it that many times at all anyway. If it does get dropped, it's going to be like, one good hit, and a waist high hit. That's a pretty realistic drop if it fell. I'll do one more, and this will be just to simulate the if you had it up at your shoulder and then it fell, we'll see how it does in that area. So we'll go ahead and do that. So say you had your rifle up and you drop it from this high, so about neck high, shoulder high. We'll go ahead and do that now. Okay. And this is the one that may it may make this scope stop working, but we'll find out here. This is a pretty good drop. Okay. So the red dot's still on. That's a plus. And also what I want to remind you is there might be a couple of other tests on YouTube where they drop the scope or they throw the scope. On those videos that I found, they're not on the rifle. And when you add, 6 or 7 pounds of rifle to it, it really, adds a lot of force that scope's taking when it hits the ground. And I didn't have anything hard out here to drop it on, and that'll mar it up anyway. But the ground is fairly dry, so it's not real dampening. But it is more dampening than, say, wood or metal. So remember that also. We'll go ahead, see if it's still accurate minute of man first, and then I'll do another group, and we'll see where it is. And I'm not sure if I'm just missing or if that's actually the scope being off. I'm going to check this target and then I'll let you know. Okay, so that second group I shot, we're still on with that. And now I'll shoot this group after it's been abused just a little bit more, and this will be the final grouping after it's taken all that abuse. That was actually my last round there. So what we'll do here is we'll just go up and look. It's probably a little bit dark in this video. Sun's going down, so. Okay, now, what you're seeing here, let me get the camera right on it. What you're seeing here is a shift left of about 2.5 to 3 inches here at about 15 yards. So I think that those misses that I did out there were actually the scope being off and not just me missing, because 3 inches here, now let's just say 20, at 100 yards, that's going to be multiplied by 5, so that's 15 inches off to the left. So I believe that it took all the abuse from, low height, from about foot, and then it took the abuse somewhat from waist height, even though the impact did go a little bit lower, about maybe an inch or two. And then those final drops shifted that impact to the left about 2.5, 3 inches. So I'll give you what I think about that. What I think about it is, if you want a good red dot for your plinking or range use, this is a pretty good one. You can find it for under $100 most of the time anywhere, and on sale you can get it for 60 or 70. If you're going to do that, that's fine. I would not recommend this red dot for any kind of professional use, home defense, or anything where your life might depend on it. This is not an aim point, it's not an EOTech. I'm repeating that because it's very important you don't want to think that this red dot is going to be just as good. It's not as good. Impact shifted, that's not good. Now it still works, and probably out to about 50 yards you would be okay, but it could have been worse, it could have been better. It could have shifted off foot at 15 yards, and then you would be 5 feet to the left. That wouldn't be very good. So that's what I think about it. I hope you like this test, and for some of you that we're looking at this site to try to find a pretty good quality site, if you're just going to plink with it, thumbs up. If you're not, thumbs down. I just wouldn't trust this. Thanks for watching the video. I hope y'all liked it. Y'all have a good one.